Alright, here we're on the passenger side, and he had a power window problem here. Not only was this switch pushed through the little trim piece that it sticks up in, but the window would not go up or down. So this is the door lock, the blue. The red is the window. And when I was kind of going to troubleshoot this, of why, because it would make a little clicking noise when you hit the switch back and forth. You could hear something in the motor clicking, but nothing was working. So I looked, and these switches for the lock and the window are exactly the same. And they actually had the same part number there. So I just took this is actually the door lock switch. So I just took this switch off of this one and installed it on here. And it works fine. So I ordered a switch, and I was going to order just the switch, but I found the whole trim piece that was broke that these lock into. I found the whole trim piece that's broken used on eBay with two switches for 30 bucks, and they came in. So we're gonna put this panel on, put those switches back in, and we'll roll from there and see if we can't get this whole side done, because everything will be working on here on this door once I get that fixed, and then we'll put the panel back on. So here I got the new used trim piece with the switches already locked in, and I think Dodge has a problem with this a lot. I don't know if you can see it, but these little tabs right here, they break, and the switch, when you go to use the switch from the top side, it just pushes right out of the piece of trim. But the piece of trim has these two little clips that clip it onto the plastic. So we're going to try to put that on real quick, and then we'll hang the door and plug all this back in. Easier said than done, I guess, huh? Trying not to break this thing in the process. There we go. Just had to get it lined up right. So there you can see it's in, locked, and hopefully these switches work, because this thing is used. If not, I have one extra switch over there that does work. So if one of these are out, I'll just replace it. So let's go hang this bad boy and see if we can get that side complete. Alright, here we got the door panel. We're about to put this puppy on. So here, that long rod that went across on the actuator on the other side, same with this side, it has a long rod that comes across. It just lays right here in this little hole, and then this clips it on, holds it on. And then we need to plug in both switches and lay these little remember the fingers I was telling you about? Lay these fingers in. They are one couple here, couple right here. And it looks like one's broke. There's a few on the bottom, but a couple of them are broken off. Looks like somebody had the door off previously. And we're going to lay that in and see if we can get this thing to work. So let's go ahead and give it a shot. First, I have to switch it off. Not too hard, it's just one little, actually one's broken. I actually broke that, but I still got one, thankfully. But they hold in pretty tight, so it's not like if the clips weren't there, they would still hold pretty good, I think. Alright, we have the panel sitting a couple fingers on the bottom, helping me support the weight. And I just got to make sure I get these on the right switch. You don't want to hit your door lock and your window go down. So the door lock is blue, and that is the top switch. I'm going to go ahead and put that one in. They don't give you much slack. I'm putting it in backwards, of course. And as you push these, just, keep your hand on the outside here as you're pushing, so you don't push the trim panel back out and break the little clips, because this stuff, I mean, as much as I hate to say it, it's American made, but it's kind of cheap. But it is what it is. Alright, got those on. Now let's test them and see if they work. Oh, I gotta close that other door over there, of course. And I have no way of holding this on. Let's see if I can put it right there. Alright, door locks work. Windows works. We're in business. Right now we have the opening latch, bar, rod, whatever you want to call it. It has to go in this little clip and locked. That should be it, my friends. Make sure you get your doorknob in there, like so. Oh, you know what? I forgot a very important item. I took some of this weather sound insulation, I guess, this little piece of plastic. I need to put that back on. So, I gotta unhook some of this stuff. Maybe all of it. I'm just going to put it on maybe with some duct tape or something. I need to unhook this actually. Which is a royal pain in the butt, kinda. Because you don't want to break these little switches. I think I might just try it the way it is. I think I can do it. Alright, I got my little plastic piece, little insulation. Soundproofing probably does a little bit of both. But this door is really dusty. So I know this tape's not going to stick, so I have some carb cleaner. You see? I wish I had contact cleaner because I know that would work. But we're gonna try this. You gotta get real crazy with it, just enough to get the dust off, or we're gonna be placing the tape up. Nothing fancy. Alright, so we're gonna lay this thing in. And it goes like this. So I just got a few pieces of tape to hold it in place. And then I'll do a little nicer job taping it up. That makes sense. Man, I wish this door panel was off. But those switches they're kind of fragile. And I don't really want to take them off, so we're going to do it like this. Alright, day number 3. I was going to try to finish this last night, but I had a babysit, so I got this thing taped up for the most part, and I'm just cutting away the excess duct tape. Trying to make it look somewhat nice. Alright, so now we are actually going to put the panel on for good. I got to reattach this little linkage for the handle. Which is pretty simple. Now we're just going to lay these fingers in, like I said before. And then there's a little groove that goes over. There's like a little piece right here next to the window. The groove on the panel goes in. So you gotta kind of get all this stuff in at once, so to speak, or it will not go down. Kind of like now. There it goes. All right. Let's see what we got here. All right, so basically, you got some of these little torque screws and a few just regular Phillips screws. I'm just going to do them all loose to start until I get every one started, and then I'll go ahead and tighten them all in. And I'd probably recommend not using power tools because the little nuts that these screw into, some of them are plastic. So they'll break off easy if you're not careful. And a hidden one is behind this handle. So you got to pull this handle out to get to, you might miss this one and break something. You're not careful. Alright, so those are the torque, now the Phillips. That one went in smooth. Let's try the last one. I think I forgot to mention that the radio was working, but one of the speaker on the driver's side door was really, cracky. It wouldn't even play barely. And he thought it was the radio. But it ended up being just a grounded out speaker, a blind speaker. Which I'm not a radio guy, so I don't know exactly what was wrong with it, but I know the speaker was bad, so I put a new speaker in. A couple El Cheapos from Walmart. Nothing fancy, but it sounds a lot better than it did before. So along with the power windows, power locks, glove box, and cruise control, which I haven't looked at. I may look at that, I'm not sure. It's like intermittent. Sometimes it'll work, sometimes it will not. That is it, my friends. That is the door panel. Pretty simple, right? You just got to make sure when you're taking the panel off and you're unclipping these lights to make sure you don't bust the little brackets behind these, not the lights, the door lock and window up and down switch. That's probably the most important part. Everything else pretty durable for the most part.